Hey guys, we are here at Let's Play 2019, one of the biggest kind of gaming conventions in DFW. And the coolest thing about Let's Play, I think, personally, being an arcade guy, is the amazing arcade they always bring. And of course, some of it's free play. About 30 of the games here, 31 games here are free play games. Then Rogue Synapse, Estel, the Doc, you've heard a lot of names for the other collection, brings maybe 50 or 60 to this event. And then there's a couple other collectors, a couple other community group members that participate and bring their stuff. And we're going to walk through it all. We're going to check it out, see what's new this year. What's really cool is, like, some of the other people, they have these kind of games that they know they're always going to bring to conventions, and it's the same game every year. Free play, it's kind of like whatever we have, we're going to bring it. So let's check out what free play had first, and then we're going to hit up the rest of the community. All right, so we're walking through Let's Play. It's amazing. It's awesome. We've got DJs, all sorts of booths, all sorts of different gaming, mostly retro, but some modern stuff. Used to, they would have Smash tournaments and stuff, but that kind of outgrew even this convention center. So this year, it's all about just like casual, having fun gaming. All right, so first up, we have a 4-player Pac-Man Battle Royale. Now, this is going to be like controversial because we have 2 Japanese Pac-Man Battle Royals, and I've told the whole world that's the only version that matters. That's the best version. This is an American version that ended up in our collection, and we just thought, hey, it works. We're going to bring it to the convention. It's in good shape. It's in great shape. I think it's brand new.
It looks beautiful.
I don't really know how we got it. I don't remember the full story.
It's taller.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is. And
so taller,
is it narrower too?
I don't actually know.
I think so.
I don't know the
played
physical differences. It's very similar, but the gameplay, of course, a little worse. But for a convention, being able to bring one out, it's not an inexpensive game, really fun, and we just thought, hey, we have it, we should bring it out. Next up, so this kind of ends in our candy row this time. This is King of Fighters 2002 EX, or I can't remember. There's a special version of King of Fighters 2002 that came out later. That was like a re-release, tweaked it, modified it. So it's KOF 2002 or 99. I don't actually. Geez, what's happening there? It just said it's not 99. It's 2002. See, it's going to go through to 2002. And it's kind of like the hardest to find of the King of Fighters 2002. So what's really cool here, though, is this was normally a Nesica game, a game that had to connect to the internet to work, but we were able to get a version that doesn't have to, and we bring it to conventions, put it out, really, really awesome. And we're in this like Versus City row. Next to it, let's see. The one past this one is Super Turbo, but this, could it be? Oh, wait. I think this is the robot fighting game. What is that called? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It sounds
Let's
awesome,
wait. It's going to come. It's going to happen. It's going to come. 4 months. So this is really cool. We've been bringing this to conventions. It's Plasma Sword is what it is. We've been bringing this to conventions. This is how this Versus City looked coming off the floor in Tokyo or Hong Kong. I can't remember which shipment this came from. So they had these really funny bubble joysticks, really goofy yellow buttons, and we've kind of been rolling with it. We kind of like connecting to that original story for this machine. And also, like, for some reason, this is clearly where the start button goes, but they put it right there. I don't know. We didn't do that.
Good job, y'all.
But then we had Super Turbo, like I said. We have Final Fight in Astro City, a little throwback to our Akon lineup. This is how they played it in High Score Girl, right? They had a Final Fight. So we brought it. It's really cool. We actually had a couple requests here for Final Fight. Next to a USF4 in a Versus Felix. And here's what's really cool. For the first time ever, we've brought 2 Felix Versus out. These are really rare cabs, really kind of unique cabs. You'll see a lot of single Felixes that are then back-to-back. These are actually connected, just like the other Versus Cities, to make a dedicated head-to-head fighting setup. Next to it, Melty Blood Actress again. So cool. Such a really neat game. And, I mean, this is kind of... This is my ideal convention lineup for like the not modern, but newer fighters. Having like a Melty Blood, having USF4, it's perfect. It's awesome. Then we've got Free Play Lonnie over here playing on the Neo Geo 4 slot. Looks like he's doing some derby racing, maybe.
Cool.
Very nice. Very awesome. That's my favorite. I've said it before. I think that's the U4 cab, MVS U4. That's my favorite all-time Neo Geo cabinet. All right, and then we've got Dragonball Z. We're going to go right here.
We're going to go this way?
Yeah.
All right.
Straight off of the Akon tour. Nice thing about it right now, we lost Red during Anime Convention. Red is back. That's the work we did on this. Tweaked up the control panel. Another one we had, a Thomas Wave, Dolphin Blue. Great game. Awesome. Looks great, too.
This is the best one, and it's the only time you ever get to see it.
No. So, somewhere maybe in this video, you can click a link to the Game of the Week Gals Panic 2 edition. It might say something really goofy like, not safe for work.
Because it's totally
pornographic
not.
arcade game.
It's horribly embarrassing to play this game and have anyone walk by and pay attention to what you're doing. Because you
But this is one of this is one of Kelsey's favorite games.
I love this, and I only get to play it once a year at Let's Play, which makes it my favorite festival convention we do.
Let's Play gave us permission to bring it. Ever since, we've been like super excited to be able to show it because the other day Kelsey was playing Kicks, you know, the original kind of box drawing game, and she was like, "Why can't I go diagonal? Why aren't there naked ladies behind?" Like,
no, just the first part. It's so much better to be able to move it any way you want. This is like, the game mechanics are so much cooler.
Yeah, the game mechanics
it's
in
just
Gals Panic 2
horribly
are
embarrassing.
just absolutely awesome. I think Chris is trying to sneak a game in really quick. So, he's ashamed of himself, but he loves it. Next up, we've got Fighting Vipers. This is like seriously one of my favorite fighting games, period. 90s merchandising, all sorts of absurd stuff. I love this game. We used to have it out on the floor at Richardson. It's famous because it's got like the Pepsi guy. Got a skateboarder that hits people in the face. Really cool.
Always a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. And then we've got our kind of, at this point, a little famous, the Red Bull Street Fighter cab. They're playing a game I don't recognize.
I don't know. I'm embarrassed to say, because I played this with DJ just now, it's the first time I've ever played this cabinet or any game in it.
It might be Skullgirls, actually. I think that's Skullgirls.
I don't know. It was very confusing to play. Neither of us were sure what was going on. I would be like, oh no, but then I was actually winning at the time.
No, it's a really cool fighting. So the nice thing is about that, to the extent it's a nice thing, it's a PS4 inside. So we can change the games up once you get it all programmed correctly. There's some button mapping stuff you have to deal with, but it's really overall really nice. Then we've got a premiere game here, Gate of Doom. Bought it at an auction. We've now rebuilt every part of it, except apparently the marquee, which didn't turn on when we got here. Bummed about that. But no, Gate of Doom is this really kind of cool, obscure brawler type, platformer type game, and it's really neat. And it's out for the first time ever. We rebuilt it off the auction. We were going to try to put it out on a free play floor. It didn't make it, but it made it to the convention floor, so pretty nice. Liquid Kids, another Akon game we had to bring back. This one really feels like, I mean, Liquid Kids is a really cool game, but this to me feels so laundromat that I love it. Like, it's in a dynamo, but we haven't been able to change the control panel overlay yet. It's clearly a conversion. We have a custom marquee for it, and it's just like a random game you'd find and then fall in love with. So that's pretty cool. So Let's Play's running the NES World Championships on Tetris. We thought it'd be fun to bring in Atari Tetris. This is one of the nicest conversions we've ever found. We've got to do some work, obviously, but it's in great shape. It is. We've run some major tournaments on it. We actually, the year of, and it's probably why another reason people don't like me as much. The year we ran our Tetris tournament, I made sure it was worth $1 more than the World Championships on the NES. But today you can qualify for the NES World Championships. I know, I have problems. I'm not happy about it. Fist of the North Star in a big blue. We had this at Akon too. Really cool though. They've tweaked it since then, changed the control panel up a little bit, rebuilt it, tweaked the monitor. You've got that kind of sunken. You'll see this a lot on like Alien vs. Predator, conversion, 3-player, the original Championship Edition. That's kind of what this big blue series was. But it's looking great. Cool mini games. We had to fix this live today. Lost the marquee. That was on earlier. Cool mini games is just like a little bit like Warrior World, if you've ever played that, or whatever it was called, where it's just mini game after mini game after mini game, and you have to stay super focused.
That's fun.
And in the arcade, so it's one of our tech's favorite. Josh, I think it's maybe his favorite, maybe Capcom Sports Club, but he loves that. Another Akon star, Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
There's so many fighting games. I don't even know which one to play.
And this one is really neat. So this is a game that came out, I think, on the Wii, but they actually made an arcade release. And this is the arcade release, which kind of irritates some people because the Wii version ended up having more characters. But you know how we are. We got to have the real arcade. So this is real arcade hardware running Tatsunoko versus Capcom. And I think it's really cool. I think it's super neat to have rare games. Next up,
it's perfect for a convention,
right,
to have things you don't see every day.
Next up, we have Richard playing maybe his favorite game in our collection, Cross Beats Rev.
It's really fun.
Sunrise. No, it's awesome. And, you know, we've never put it out on the floor. We've been doing, except at, like, parties. We'll do a party. We'll do a convention.
It's like an added, like, reward for staff. We get to play these games we never get to play when we come to the conventions.
All right, so next up, this is super cool, super rare. So, Poly Game Master, right, it had a limited amount of releases. Did I knock this thing out of my mic? Hold on, let's figure this out. I don't know what happened. I think I'm back in. But I like pulled it or hit it or something.
Smooth.
I know. Listen, I'm an amateur at this stuff.
Yeah, you're coming in and out.
Am I?
No, now you're...
I think I'm fine now. I think I just pull it out a little bit. All right, so we're back. We're going to do a quick cut. All right, so this is Demon Front. Poly Game Master had, I don't know, 25, 30 games. This is their Metal Slug version. IGS made it, and it's like Metal Slug in every way, except, I mean, maybe the art is even better. It's really cool.
It's very crisp. I think Metal Slug is like grainier.
Well, the hardware was a little bit better, and of course the Poly Game Master, the PGM was the Neo Geo competitor, so they had to have a run and gun type game, and this is it. You won't play it anywhere else. I can't. I've never seen it in the arcade except for us. So that's another great thing for conventions, right? You wouldn't recognize it, and if you're in an arcade, it could be in an arcade, but this isn't going to like have the pull of Galaga or Miss Pac. But here at a convention where you're filled with like hardcore gamers, Demon Front just crushes. All right, so we're going to go to the last free play pod. We've got our Arcade Anywhere Turtles. So I don't know how it's going to pick it up on the camera, but this is not a flat screen. This is not a LCD or anything. This is a flat tube. We were able to get some new old stock 27-inch flat tubes. They're CRTs. They're beautiful, but they look a little different than the round ones. And we use it not in our arcades, but for our Arcade Anywhere project. We also rebuilt it with these very, very authentic, but not Wiko sticks and buttons. It's a little bit more reliable out in the world where we don't have techs working like 24 hours a day. So it's an Arcade Anywhere game. We put them in movie theaters, breweries, that kind of thing.
You know I love the Ninja Turtles.
And I mean, look at that. It's beautiful. It's in great shape.
Yeah.
Next is the rarest of the 4-player games. There's an old game of the week about this. Hit the Ice. This had no release in Texas, famously. It had very few, very limited release anyways. And we got Arcade DJ here, free play DJ playing. Not to be confused with DJ Terminator Mike B.
It's getting very confusing.
That's actually his name. But this is incredibly rare. Really cool to have it out at anything. It was a Arlington launch game, and unfortunately, the people of Texas still haven't really caught on to hockey yet. So here's one fresh off the floor at Arlington. A true-to-life dual-screen Tecmo Bowl. Super rare. We have 2 of these in the collection, and we can't really put them out because the mechanics do not work well for free play. If you hit the start game, you just start adding time. So what happens is someone will put 14 minutes for each player on there, and now they're going to hit start, and it's going to play a 14-minute game, and they'll get tired after 5 or 10 minutes and walk away, and no one wants to play someone else's game. So it doesn't work well for this format, but I actually think it's a really great game. The bigger problem, of course, is everyone will see Tecmo Bowl, and they'll start making like Bo Jackson jokes and stuff. Bo Jackson's not in Tecmo Bowl. That's Tecmo Super Bowl or NES Tecmo. It is not the original Tecmo Bowl. There's no licensed players here.
Noted.
There's John, Eric, Bob, and Larry.
I think
they're
great.
That's all you have. All right. So the new kind of game that we've been working on, everyone loves, Killer Queen is here. Mm-hmm. Brought it. It's here to play. It crushed at Akon. We know it's going to crush here. And the really nice thing is our community group members and our community guys, Chris and Arthur, get to stand here and play with a bunch of people. Now, if you're watching this, it's only 1 p.m. on a Friday, so the crowd hasn't come yet, which is really nice.
And you need a lot of people to make this game work.
Right. It's a great time to do the walkthrough. It's like an early admission, early open time. So there's people in the background, but not a ton. Let me see what we have around the Killer Queen. I think it's just our signage and stuff. Yeah. Our awesome video.
That still says $10.
It still says $10. It's $11 after tax now. It's different. All right, so those were all the free play games. We're walking now into some of Estel's stuff, some of the Let's Play stuff. It's kind of intermixed.
What is this?
So this is a custom Zombies Ate My Neighbors cabinet that Estel built. So Zombies Ate My Neighbors is an all-time great SNES game. And this is really, really cool. I think it looks awesome.
These lights are so cool.
Yeah, so they really went all out with this custom build. And of course, lighting is now something that's really easy to do inexpensively and make look really cool. The big problem, which I'm not trying to complain at all about this cabinet, I think it's beautiful. I would put it in my arcade.
Ooh.
But you need an SNES control pad to play the game. I mean, every time we try to put console games in, we've tried a lot, it's never quite as good as the original. So I think their theming is amazing. I think it's awesome. But it just, when I played it, I was like, I wish I had the pad. And I feel that way about a lot of them. But, I mean, the build quality is absurd and just so cool. All right, next to a Capcom Anthology. This is a CPS2, I think, that has the multi-game in it, which is cool because we bring all these, like, hardcore, single-game, authentic, like, stuff. This you'll be able to get into a lot of different other games, which, you know, that's like Street Fighter versus, or X-Men versus Street Fighter. So, cool. Next to a Bonanza Bros, pretty rare Sega game, looking great. Next to Super Zaxxon, really quite rare, so that's, you know, the sequel to Zaxxon. It's even harder than Zaxxon somehow. So it didn't do super well because people were like, why am I torturing myself playing this game?
It looks really clean.
But yeah, it's a great example. This is Deathrace coming up next. Really cool game. This is one that I've been wanting to put out at arcade forever. But one of the problems you'll see down there is you see the little credit button and stuff. It's an old black and white. It didn't work. This was a controversial game and they released it.
Really?
Yeah, which is funny, you know, with modern sensibilities, right? We would watch a little stick figure get run over by a car and not even, like, blink. But this was kind of, you know, the precursor to what's an old game now, Twisted Metal and all of that. This is Deathrace. Really cool, rare
Looks
game.
Cool.
Definitely out of Estel's collection. So this was then a Cave Bullet Hell. Oh, man, last time I pronounced this, everyone at Akon gave me crap. I think it's Dangon Feveron, something like that.
Uh-oh, that sounds like how you said it.
Feveron. It's a cave shooter, all-time great cave shooter. All of them are really all-time greats. And a cool custom reflected cab. I think they used to have something else in here, but you put a disco ball on top of a cabinet, everything's great. Next to Off the Wall, which is like, what is it? Like Warlords, but a little different. Really awesome game. It's hard without having a bunch of people playing it. It's not a great game like solo. Next to a custom Fix-It Felix. It's been requested a lot. So
I'm partial to it. My kids really liked Wreck-It Ralph.
So what was happening a lot when we were getting into arcades was Nintendo was, Disney was kind of protective of these types of conversions. And, you know, they didn't care about anyone's home, but they made authentic ones, something like 30 or 40, where they would take an old Donkey Kong cabinet, not repair any of the wear, maybe even add some wear, and put a computer in there playing Fix-It Felix Jr. Eventually, it got dumped to the internet. We had a party for our son a long time ago that was like Wreck-It Ralph themed. We had this game there. I'm still contemplating building a cabinet for it. I think it'd be cool. And I think the arcade game belongs in our arcade,
I think
too.
the game is a really fun game to play.
So Junior Pack, you might recognize this cabinet from Mappy. Junior Pack and Mappy were both kind of failures, but both kind of tried to save one another. There's a dispute which one came second. I think Junior Pack was such a bomb that they made Mappy, but I could be getting it backwards. It doesn't really matter. There's overlapping serial numbers that kind of show that Ballybit was just trying to make some money. It was during the arcade crash as well. A Scramble that's not booting. It was booting earlier. I'm sure it'll come back up later. Williams Turkey Shoot, the one game that everyone requests for Thanksgiving. Look, I mean, as you can tell, there's a grenade button. You're like, you're really trying to get these. You need to get
some turkey dinner.
So this is my favorite cab, maybe my favorite cab of Estel's. Every year we convert some of our games to Splatterhouse.
Oh wow!
And we put like a big thing, a sign on it that says, "We don't know what happened to this game. It's turned into this."
This art is very cool.
Yeah, so Estel had it all commissioned. This is my favorite, is the locks down there.
Yeah.
It's so cool. But Estel went all out building what is one of the coolest Splatterhouses I've ever seen. And it's one of my favorite games. And of course, it was actually in a high score girl, too, interestingly enough. So, and here's another custom cave shoot. No, not cave. This is Atlas shooter. Gundango. Cool game. Apparently,
win me. I can win this.
A Neo Geo. So,
where are the terms?
What no one, what a lot of people know, but no one probably on the internet knows, Chris Delp, before he was an employee at Free Play, would come here and win cabinets like it was going out of style.
Really? Where are they?
Well, one of them is the, not Asteroids Deluxe, but the Space Invaders Deluxe at Denton. He sold to me. And then finally, he started working here, and it was like, one of the first things he asked was like, do I get to win anything? I was like, not really anymore.
I mean, you can win. You just can't win prizes.
Right. So I don't really know how you win this, but Chris Delp was always like,
could he win this, though? It's not our cabinet.
No, he can't. I've already told him he won't try because he'll win anything. MK4, I mean, not to hate on a game, but that is the most hated of all Mortal Kombats. No one likes it. They kind of went polygonal. I don't know. See what I mean?
I don't like it, but it's because I remember this kid beating me up playing it, and then I sent Chris over to play with him, and Chris came back and was like, that kid was cheating. I wiped the floor with him.
And then we have the famous Ultraman Conversion that they did such a great job on that everyone hates because it's such a hard game to play. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you're in there. It is complicated, convoluted. It's like a fighter, and they were trying to do tournaments on it. Anyways, top-notch craftsmanship, though. Looks really cool. I really love it, but no one wants to play it.
I'll play it if it makes you feel better.
All right, so we're going to walk back over here. We'll zoom back through these games we've already hit. And then maybe we'll walk over there and hit up the Let's Play games that we missed through negligence. All right, so as we're walking up here, you're going to see a sit-down Sinistar. I think it was 100, 120 they made.
I'm excited about that.
We've had one in the collection before that we sold. Prices are getting crazy, but we've never been able to put
I don't know how I feel about that.
We've never been able to put a sit-down in any of our collection. And
I kind of like that. I'm partial to the stand-up, so I'm going to have to try this and find out.
It's really cool. It's got stereo sound and everything.
Ooh.
Yeah,
so
it's extra immersive.
I like that. Okay.
So really cool. And Arctic Thunder, you might, if you go back through the auction videos, see them buy. You see they even have blue tape over the auction tag up there.
Wow.
This is a Let's Play game. They were looking for like more sit-downs, more drivers. I wasn't really serious about buying it, but I thought, it went for a good deal. The monitor would be valuable. But when I saw them getting into a bidding war, I backed off because this is a big game. I probably didn't really want to buy it.
This is a big game.
So next to Cruising World, like I said, they're just trying to acquire some sit-downs for the convention because though we all really love these obscure, insanely rare games, people sometimes just want to sit down and drive around in a virtual world.
Right.
So then we have a custom virtual pinball. I was talking to someone who owned this. I think he said he had 600 or something tables on here.
What?
Excuse us. So very cool. Totally digital. One of the better home use versions, I think, for these types of tables. So it's really, really neat. Ghostbusters Stern. It's a Ghostbusters Stern. Looks cool. Ghostbusters Stern came out kind of early, and Stern starting to get these cool retro licenses, and everyone loved the fact that it wasn't the new Ghostbusters. This was the original Ghostbusters. They had all the original characters. They had the original actors doing voices and stuff.
Yeah.
But then the pinball's kind of lackluster.
Total
Nuclear Annihilation, which was the greatest and most accurately rated pinball of all time. Now these like pinball players who want their games to last an hour.
Right. It's a quick game, but I like that. You can just scooch in and
So this is like a mid-'80s table that then got retro-waved with modern technology. Total Nuclear Annihilation is one of my favorite.
The music is really awesome.
Yeah, next up we have an F-14 Tomcat. Good pin. We used to have one on the floor at Arlington, and then a Jackbot. So we've had on the floor Pinbot, Bride of Pinbot.
Yeah.
And this is the third one, Jackbot.
I have not played that.
It's not as fun.
Aww.
I mean, it's good.
I'm partial to Bride of Pinbot.
But given what Bride of Pinbot was, I think everyone was expecting more out of it.
Yeah.
When it came back in like 1996 or something. And then we have an original Rampage with the right sticks.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's an awesome game. Original Monroe sticks. Looks like it's in great shape. Just kind of out here by itself. I don't know why.
I haven't seen anyone play it.
I mean, it's a really great example.
I love Rampage.
Rampage, of course, does really well whenever we have like a cities thing, like find a real city where people will be able to get photos and stuff. All right, so that's this little area. Let's go finish up the Estel's games, the Rogue Synapse games. It's got like a Cuphead pinball. I mean, really, really neat home use, though they are controversial because it's virtual, right? It's virtual pinball. All right, so we're walking up, and this, I'm really sad. They've had this for a couple years now, but it makes me so sad because I wanted to be the one that finished the Blockbuster cabinet first. As you've seen in our collection, we have a Blockbuster cabinet, and I know what we're doing with it. I don't even want to, if I already ruined it, go watch the other video. I'm not going to ruin it right now, but they put a really cool, they put Dungeons & Dragons in here. Block Party cabinet, so cool. So this is back when Blockbuster was going to open up their own arcades and like have alcohol and stuff way ahead of their time, obviously. And then it didn't work. They closed it down really fast. Blockbuster was trying stuff. They just kind of forgot to try what might work, which is content creation or something. Dark Adventure, not a dedicated, but it looks like it's in one of those internet or the IT cabs that is Golden Tee and stuff. So better use, I guess, depending on your how you feel. Smash TV, all-time classic. Max Force. It's a fine shooter. We've had it out before. In the Hunt item, I was actually just talking about Josh. He really likes In the Hunt. We just kind of got one that we're building. So this is Rogue Synapse. Looks really cool.
That's an Area 51 in the Maximum Force.
Oh, well, it's probably dual booting Area 51 and Max Force. So this is cool. This is one of Estel's custom-made games. He made an actual version of Space Paranoids.
Aww.
Let me see if I can get it going. Just because this is so rare. I mean, this is totally custom, right? He coded this game just so that someone had made an actual version
That's
of
what I love about
Space
Estel.
Paranoids. And that is just incredible. And I know what's really hard for them is he's been coding since like 1997 or 95 or before. And obviously, like, the computer technology has changed a lot, so I know he's been, like, dealing with that. But, yeah, like, it is super, super custom. I'm trying to get it to load. I mean, it's loading. I'm not in the narrative focus yet.
Right.
So, I mean, look at this. He programmed all of it's just beautiful. All right, so now see, look, I'm moving around. Choo, 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 choo. Totally custom Space Paranoids game. And that's, you won't find this like anywhere else. This is it. This is the one place to play it. And oh no, I'm not very good at this game. I can't.
You
I don't
gotta
know.
go up.
Oh,
like,
I didn't use this. Anyways, that Space Paranoid's totally custom. Mega Race. This is a rare black and white, awesome game. We've had it in the collection. We haven't been able to put it out, but this might be one of my favorites that we don't have out right now. I mean, the art package is also insane.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Another custom, you can tell, it's Astro Gunner. You can see it's like supposed to be like a vector asteroids. Oh man, it's so cool. It's so cool. I mean, this alone every year is worth the cost of admission. Like, I remember when I first met Estel and he told me, like, because look at this is like 3D asteroids.
Yeah.
And he told me this is like what he liked. This is what he did. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And then I came and saw it and I was like, never mind. This is amazing. So these kind of mats. This is an Asteroid Deluxe. This is his Astro Gunner custom income game programmed by Estel. Space Duel, great kind of heavy 1v1 or not. Battlezone, black and white, Vector, so cool. Solar Quest, this is rare, guys. This is Cinematronics. Oh, man. So, I mean, you will not find this in very many places. This is super cool. And I am not... Don't have enough hands right now. But Solar Quest is like, I mean, this is rare. Cinematronics Vector, working Speed Freak, original black and white. So this is another Vector game. So this is Vector Beam, and it's kind of like those early drivers that remind you kind of, what is it called? Night Driver a little bit. But
yes,
totally drawn in Vector. Major Havoc, you've seen ours at Free Play Richardson. Kind of like that kind of prestige piece still. Most valuable arcade game generally in the world. Really cool. And an original Asteroids, I don't know how many times I've said it's the perfect game on these, but it's the perfect game. One of these multicades, the Retrocades, you've also heard me talk. So the big criticism here, I think these are great, except they put the trackball so that it's half up, half down, and you really want it a little more sunken. But that's the only criticism. Otherwise, pretty cool version. Whoa. And they've got it working in Atari Cops and Robbers. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Super rare. Definitely one of those original, like, amusement games. I mean,
are you going to come play this with me later?
Yeah, I mean, we got to come back and just really explore it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they never hold back here. That's what's so cool.
Well, this is my favorite convention. There are so many cool things to do. Like, I have stuff to do the whole time I'm here. Other conventions, perhaps, I'm sitting around waiting for you to stop talking to people. But here, I can play all day.
We've got a Frogger. You've got to have it. Neo Geo. Got to have it. A Stratovox, pretty cool. Title game. Kind of rare. Kind of cool. We don't have one in our title collection right now, but we've got a lot of title games. Raiden 2, one of the best performing vertical shooters. Original Street Fighter 2 is that like a CE or even older? Hyper Fighting. They put Hyper Fighting. So Hyper Fighting is every once in a while you'll have people debate whether Super or Hyper Fighting is the better game. Hyper Fighting is definitely like the superior popcorn style game. Like if you're just trying to have fun and wail on people, Hyper Fighting. If you care about like game mechanics, Super Turbo is definitely the winner. It looks like it's a Wild Gunman setup, but they also have Super Russian Roulette in there. We'll have to come back and play that later. Really, really neat. So this is a gapless in a tunnel hunt. I know the history of this because I sold this to Estel, and I wish I didn't.
Oh, my goodness. Really?
Know. Yes. So this was early in my trading and stuff, and I knew that this wasn't the right game, but this was such a good conversion, and I didn't have like the appreciation because it wasn't the proper cabinet for it, and they've never messed with it because they did such a good job.
Yeah,
and whoever built this did such a great job, and I sold it to them, and I want it back so badly. Dead or Alive, cool fighter.
I don't know if you know this, but in the time before you, I used to play a lot of Dead or Alive too.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
A lot.
There's one of the games we've never put out that people like. Kelsey likes.
I liked it at the time. I was young and silly,
yeah.
so you can't trust my opinion.
We've got Spy Hunter. This is the game that we've put out quite a few times that has resulted in more tech notes than any game, including all pinballs, because you know both triggers don't work when you first start the game. You have to earn it, whatever.
Yeah, that's very confusing.
Well, and people are just like, why doesn't this work? And we've had people say that this is like, we've had people write negative reviews online that are just like, their games are just like not working at all. I'd be like, what game wasn't working? I thought they were all up. And they're like, Spy Hunter. The triggers weren't working. I was like, which trigger? And every time they're like, oh, really? I didn't know that. They never changed their review, though. Elevator Action Returns. We had our sit-down set up at Acon. This is a custom-built dynamo. It's a great game. We actually have Elevator Action Returns out at Arlington right now.
Hey.
And it's doing well there. I saw a kid there say this is his favorite game ever. I was like, this is maybe that's why free play exists. Whoa, Quasar. Wow. I mean, it's super rare. It's a terrible game. It's a Sakurai game.
That's too bad. It looks so cool.
But it is no good. Black Tiger full kit. So what some people probably don't know is our full kit, all the artwork that we have for our Black Tiger that we released as part of our Ready Player One stuff, came directly from Estel because he wanted to build a custom Black Tiger and he had all the extra artwork and he just was like, guys, are y'all gonna ever build one? I was like, yeah, and he just hands me all this artwork and I was so appreciative.
What a cool guy.
And it took us 2 years. Like it was so hard too because every time I'd meet him, he was like, got a Black Tiger up? I was like, soon. It's coming. And then it came and he was like, yay. And then no one wanted to play our Black Tiger. No one played. It's such a great game. It's disrespected.
Now this is actually, I think, Josh's favorite game, isn't it?
Yeah, all right. So they brought Leland Attacks. We just did a game of the week on this. I'm just good at losing it now. I used to be good at that.
I like to play it, but I lose.
So this is it. This is probably one of the most important reasons to come.
This is beautiful.
This is a custom version that's a real playing version of Starfighter.
Yeah.
From last Starfighter, Estel built this cabinet custom. It's now been used by all sorts of Starfighter stuff. Like official Starfighter stuff has to use this because this is the only cabinet in existence that's good. And more than that, he made it playable. And I mean, Estel's so cool. When they were showing last Starfighter at Alamo Draft House here in DFW, I was like, Estel, you want to bring it in? He was so excited. He was just excited to share it with people. And it got a ton of play there.
But that's why Estel is like a tremendous member for this community.
Right. Well, and not only is that custom built, it's custom programmed again.
Yeah.
Just so that someone actually had a playable version of the game that you see. And it's so cool. All right. So we got the last pod. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We've got something epic coming up that no one actually likes. But that's what made it so rare. We've got the trash can, the Duramold. So this is Williams Blaster in a Duramold cabinet. They were not popular when they came out. You might understand why, but now all these arcade collectors are like, yes, that's all I ever wanted.
Well, it's rare.
I think it's super awesome, but they're hideous. They're just like, but yeah, I mean, you've seen people like take photos with a monitor and an actual trash can and be like, does anyone want to buy my Duramold? That's how like goofy people are, but this is so rare. Let's see, that kind of popped up. I'll fix that for them. There we go. All better. But a Williams Blaster, which is a game we haven't had out, VidKids, Robotron, Lineage, amazing game. And this is, I mean,
I don't know. The graphics look great.
I mean, this is in great shape. This is probably the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The nice thing is, since they're made out of plastic, they all last pretty well. All right, so here's another. So there have been about 5-6 people that I'm aware of that have programmed a Polybius over the last 30 years, or whenever the Polybius rumor started. So Polybius was this famous game that didn't really exist. It was going to take control of your mind and cause you to become like a government agent, sleeper cell, something like that.
Sure.
Estel went and he made one, and the really cool thing is it like changes based on your level, what you can do, and it starts flashing and stuff. And he custom programmed, and this is one of the games that's really hard. See, you had like the faces coming at you, and this is the most authentic I've seen. When I was talking to Estel, the only issue with this is he programmed in like 1998, and he didn't set the timers right. So you need a 1998 computer because it's just going to play as fast as it's possible. So if you put on like a modern computer, anything that happens just causes the whole thing to crash or go crazy. Oh my gosh! So this is Berserk, famous for being too violent back in the day. We've had so many of them that we've taken off. So this Berserk has one of those conversion joysticks. Of course, the dedicated Berserk, the famous thing, has like that joystick that's like 6 inches tall, not 6 feet. Really cool. 2-player Warlords, rare, cool Atari game, awesome. A Gyrus, all-time great. Really, did I say this last time I saw this? This is the best-looking Xevious I've ever seen.
I
It's
think
so
so.
good. I do. I think
Deja
so.
vu.
I think at Aegon I was like, have you all seen this? This is amazing. We've got a Centuri Phoenix. You know, we have all of the Centuri games, and we've never released one.
Wow.
We really need to.
Shame on you.
Pleiades, Phoenix, they were all really great, but they're like the kind of B-tier games that people would rather play Galaga or even Galaxian versus Phoenix. Defender Stargate, Moon Patrol, cool little Williams side by side. Tubin.
I heard you might be like a champion on this
Not
game.
only am I a champion, I'm the world champion of Tubin.
Amazing.
There have only been, I think, one world championship. I did win it.
I'm going to tell people.
Well, you should.
I'm married to the world champion.
It was. I didn't intend to win, but I stumbled into victory.
Poor Tron.
Tron out right now. Those MCR games are not reliable. And they've got a Donkey Kong, a Robotron. So this is, you can see, and I'm not saying I taught them to do this, but this is it. This is the strategy, right? You have people walk in and you hit them with the heavy hitters. You got Miss Pac, Space Invaders, Dig Dug, Galaga, Robotron, and Donkey Kong. And people walk in and they're like, wait, those are arcade games. And then you suck them into the arcade and really deliver it. So I think we have one more row. So yeah, this is the Arkham Arcade is how they branded. Of course, brought to you by Rogue Synapse and Free Play. And I would say Rogue Synapse and Free Play represent like at least 80% of the games here.
Yeah.
We have like 32. I think Esla has like 50.
Yeah,
and then there's probably
he has more for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey.
So a dedicated Empire Strikes Back. Atari, of course, released this. They released it as a kit to Star Wars. That's why, I mean, it looks the same as Atari Star Wars, but these are all in really great shape. Gravitar. Oh man, we made our first game of the week about Gravitar, and I thought that's what's going to get people to play it.
Have you done Quantum yet? Because I love Quantum.
I don't think so, but here's a Quantum. I was talking to them about that. So we have an issue right now in ours that we keep fighting that has the cue being drawn a little small, and we've gone through our chips, we've gone through everything, we've gone through the monitor, but apparently they have apparently Quantum is just not exactly the most reliable game. We've been working on it, but we haven't made any progress really. Black Widow, another cool color vector next to a Tempest. Tempest is the most famous and one of those really, really amazing games that I think just like even now still doesn't get enough like cred as one of those all-time great arcade games. So was that? That's it. That's the entire.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Arkham Arcade. Wow, so much cool stuff here.
I know.
If you're not coming to Let's Play, you're in the DFW area or in, like within 3 or 1,000 miles, you're making a mistake. They brought in a huge inflatable guy. I don't know what's up with that.
Stay Puffed.
I mean, I know who it is,
Right.
but like, yeah, they could have brought like a 3-player Ghostbusters.
Just for fun.
They should have told us. We would have brought ours. So no, this arcade is incredible. Worth whatever the price, 35, 30, 20, depending on your day, if you want like a weekend pass.
I'm kind of worried about getting all my game playing in before I have to leave today.
I know. This is an all-time great arcade. We brought a bunch of cool kind of, more modern stuff. They've got just one of the best classic lineups there. But that is the Arkham Arcade from Let's Play 2019. We're gonna walk through the rest of the place for a different video. Check out all the vendors. Check out their cool kind of wizard stage. They're doing like an anniversary for the wizard.
Right, I forgot about that.
There's all sorts of stuff. And then there's a whole nother floor going on. So this is the arcade. This is kind of what Free Play did here with our partner at Rogue Synapse and everyone else that contributed. But now we're going to go check out what we didn't do, which is maybe even more exciting for us. So for now, we're signing off, and we'll be right back with a whole nother video.